All right, YouTube, what is going on? It is Zaya here from Zaya&TheSteelers back with another post-game reaction and an episode of Zaya&TheSteelers. And on top of that, if you look below me, Brenden is here. If you guys do not know Brenden, he is my friend. As you can see, Steelers fan, Kenny Pickett fan, Ascent Sports member, and this is not his first time on the channel as he was in the Week 2 post-game reaction. So Brenden, say hello.
Hello,
There it is. Hello from Brenden.
Brenden.
Brenden, unlike me, watched this whole game in its entirety. Unfortunately, I was at the work. I did catch though, like the last 3 minutes. And I'm looking at how long we've been recording this video for. And I have not shown this video yet. So before we get into anything, we got to watch this because Diontae Johnson is so back. And they're going to try to play the audio, but I'm not going to let him. Diontae Johnson is so back. As you can see, an absolute strike to Diontae Johnson. Finally gets a touchdown. This was a beautiful sight to see. I was very happy to see this. So I wanted to start it out with that. And also, I apologize for the no gunshot noise. Unfortunately, there was just no way to work it with the setup right now because two people. This is a special episode. As I just said, I didn't get the chance to watch the full game, and so I wanted Brenden to come on here and tell the audience and tell me how he thinks the game felt or how the game went. And his opinion on how the game went, and then maybe you guys can let me know as well in the comments, and then we can compare and contrast. So Brenden, how would you describe this game, this 20-16 W by the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Well, at the end of the day, it was another 2023 Steelers game. However, Matt Canada, first game he was on the sideline.
Yes.
Play calling was all right. Like there was like before the Diontae Johnson touchdown, there was a weird like wildcat thing. I don't know what was that. Throw that out. Playbook. Never do that again. That doesn't work. Uh, but running like Najee had some good ones. Jalen Warren had some good ones. Unfortunately, as you guys can peep the jersey, I am a pretty big Kenny Pickett fan and believer. But even I gotta say, it was him today. Like it wasn't the play calling. It wasn't anybody else. The O line held up. Broderick Jones, right tackle.
Big right tackle.
We've been saying that him and Joey Porter Jr., not to get all over the place, have been starters, and like I don't know, maybe they are right. Maybe Tomlin was right to let him sit. Maybe he's cooking, but I hope they can stay in because both of them balled out. Just wish we had a better game out of Kenny because he missed some. He missed some good ones that seemed like they had the potential to, either go for a touchdown or big yard gains. And some of them were like easy throws. And it was a short week. He described the rib pain on Sunday as the worst pain he's ever felt. So maybe he's still feeling that. But it's just we keep looking for him to get better, and I really hope he can. But I don't know as these games keep going on, let's wait and he's developing kind of thing keeps kind of like it gets me nervous. Like I want him to be good so bad. Like how long do we have to wait? But I still believe fourth quarter Kenny still shows up. He can win the game. He can win you the game. So that there's something there. He just got to put it all together.
Right.
And he took responsibility. There was a interview. He said, he's like he was pissed off at himself, and he said, "Excuse my language."
Nice,
Very
respectful.
honorable
Yeah,
guy.
respectful. Yes.
Respectful.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. And he said it was. He said I missed some throws early. So I still think I've seen Isaiah. You've seen it too. Pitt Kenny that was all right and just turned it up. And you see how Narduzzi is now. So it wasn't just him.
You're right.
So I don't know. We'll see. It was a bad one for him today, but he got it done. Especially with Will Levis on the other side, it's hard when he's like
Will
slinging
Levis.
it and throwing so many, just like uh yards and stuff. And that's the thing, the defense. The defense played a solid game, but man, I don't know. Our defense is crazy. Like we just be giving up like chunk plays after chunk plays, but then somehow at the end we
You
just
just
either
kind of,
hold them
yeah.
to a field goal, turn the ball over. It's funny because it works. It's like dang, and oh look, the defense is good. But in the moment, man, it's like yo, we look terrible.
We are getting carved up.
Yeah, we are
Uh,
getting cooked.
all right. So I mean, based off what you see, you definitely made a few points. You got to Will Levis in that. I was man. Will Levis. Kenny Pickett's better than Will Levis. I only saw that last drive. It's very easy to throw to open targets. We tend to leave people open, but there was almost pick after almost pick after almost pick. Kenny Pickett gets slandered for that. But yeah,
Yeah.
as you said, not a good game from Kenny Pickett. I do have some plays up. In fact, let's get a play up right here. We got a throw from Blitz. Shout out to Blitzberg. We got this play in, I don't know when, but I believe it's a throw to Deontay Johnson. So Kenny stepping back, throwing it, and it's like you just can't ask for better, to be honest. And here we are, Brenden, your first time on the channel, and here you are, in-depth, slow motion, killing Kenny Pickett. Your first spiel on Zaya&TheSteelers is like, man, Kenny stinks. That's what it sounded like.
No, he doesn't stink. No,
But
it's just, but that right there is
this,
like, I'd hurt today because that's Phil Jerkovic stuff right there.
Filger, oh man, we're
Like, who
getting
is
deep into Pit podcast. Big
Pit
Phil,
podcast?
Dracovic. But yeah, Kenny definitely has. I don't even want to say regressed because year one, like it was kind of similar things, but I don't know. Like regression to me is crazy, but it just hasn't looked, I guess, as good now that we have a bigger sample size, and we know Matt Canada. And we know the offensive line and the issues with that we've had typically. They played well today, but we know that's been an issue. But Kenny for sure hasn't been like lighting it up. Hasn't been the star player that first round pick 20 you kind of asked for. However, as you can see, we're not going to get rid of Matt Canada. And so we're going to stick it out with Kenny Pickett for at least next season too, unless someone crazy falls. So I think we'll have him for at least next season, and maybe we bring in a veteran free agent. We will see about that. But regardless of that, I still see a future where Kenny Pickett can continue to be the quarterback. There definitely was some misses. There definitely was some points left on the board today. But we know in past days it's other reasons why points are left on the board and not just solely Kenny. Matt Canada on the sideline today. Would love to see that more. 1-0 with that. 1-0 Matt Canada. Ha ha ha. So yeah, Matt Canada on the sideline. Definitely a W so far. And it's cool because like I don't know, because I didn't see the game, but there's got to be moments in it, and eventually if he continues to be on the sideline where like our offense is just tweaking, and it's not Kenny just missing throws, it's just overall bad play calls, and there's got to be a moment where they cut to the sideline and it's Canada, and you can just see Tomlin just staring him, man. Like we got to have that moment. We got to have a moment where the players just blow up on him on the sideline. I don't know. I know we shouldn't ask for that, but it's like it's Matt Canada, bro. Like this is crazy. But it was very good that it worked out today. It was very good to see him on the sideline. We know 3 years in and you've been bad the whole time, but finally 3 years in, you're sensing some pressure. So you got to come down the sideline. The fans are roasting you. Everybody's roasting you. But once again, like, bro, it's not like it's been just amazing. However, I will say all of that, him coming on the sideline, it doesn't seem like he's trying to lose. In his head, his offense, his plays work, right? And as you said, today it was the big Kenny Pickett. And, before it was the old Big Ben. So Brenden, just throwing it out there, and Steelers fans throwing this out there because we know how our team be doing us sometimes, and we know the moves we make. What are the odds we get rid of Kenny but keep Canada? Because I feel like it's always been proposed as like the opposite. Like, oh, okay, once Kenny gets a new coordinator, but like, what if we're feeling Canada? So, because this is the fact he's still here is crazy. But yeah, I think it shows a sign of commitment so far. And he is, on his last year and likely going to get fired. But just kind of theorizing. Once again, decently called offensive game. We can only judge you by your next move. Like I can't. If you tell me you're gonna have a good offense, I can only judge you at your word. So we will see, man. Brenden, how would you feel about that? Like as a Steelers fan, would you have to? Would you have to put away the merch? Would that do it?
It- that that might do it. Maybe not do it. Do it. I probably would still watch knowing me, but maybe like it's like okay, like if there's some moments where like rather watch this or do this than watch it. Maybe I keep the game on in the background instead
Right.
of watch it because I don't know. I feel like this offense for me, the one of the shining things about it is getting to watch Kenny Pickett play in it because I was a Pitt fan.
Right.
Like if it was like Mason out there, this would
Oh,
stink
this one,
10 times
yeah.
more.
It is like because whenever Mitch comes in, I'm done. Whenever
Yeah,
Mitch
it's
comes in,
so
like,
bad.
no offense to Mitch and the Steelers, and like it's not. Maybe it is Mitch because like Mason minutes are hard to come by these days, and you definitely got to pay attention to that. I think I'm just kind of over the whole Mitch situation, per
Mhm.
se. But it did Kenny Pickett being there, like it is very cool to see. Definitely a weird situation, but once again, we did win, so we want to be positive. We want to focus on the W's. Brenden, you mentioned as well on your opening, kind of talking about the game. Broderick Jones and Joey Porter Jr. both starting, both in the starting lineup, and from what I've heard, played pretty good. DeAndre Hopkins, I believe, held to like 40 to 60 yards, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
So not a crazy game from him. Uh, yeah. Like I said, I caught the end of it, and so like seeing him out there. But the real big thing is Broderick Jones. It takes to get Broderick Jones on the field, whether it's Dan Moore, or Chikuma, cool. But he played well, and then Joey Porter Jr. This isn't his. It was his first time starting, but he's been kind of getting more snaps throughout the season. So we've seen a little bit of him. We've even seen like an interception, a game-winning interception, from Joey Porter Jr. already.
Yeah.
But to get like the solidified start, get like the personalized player intro, Joey Porter Jr., all that stuff. That is cool to see. And yeah, maybe we were, cooking it. Maybe here we are at 5-3, saving them for the late stretch in the season. Somehow, some way, man, the Steelers. That's a title of one of my videos. Somehow, some way. Somehow, some way, we're 5-3. Kenny Pickett, circling back to him. We will see, man. We're gonna ride out this season. I'm a big Kenny Pickett fan. Brenden is as well. We're gonna ride out this season. I'm not like why would I like go out here and be like, Kenny, we got to get a new quarterback. We just have to,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think it's a little crazy at this point. Given we're trying to win, we're 5-3. We're not gonna get the Caleb Williams. We're not gonna get the Drake May. So what's the point? We got to write, and you guys need to have some faith in Kenny Pickett. I've been tired of the slander. Brenden, this is a weird, like I'm the one saying the defense. Like, we got to relax. We got to stop lying about Kenny Pickett, man. Like, I get it. He's not blowing anybody away. But we got to stop dunking on the guy. It's not too much on Kenny Pickett, man. But definitely, I guess, judge objectively. I don't know. Brenden, I did want to show off some last kind of things too, because I know we were talking about defending Kenny Pickett. Last 2 seasons, most go-ahead passing touchdowns in the final 5 minutes. Kenny Pickett, 4, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4. And then Josh
And then he
Allen.
had 2 more to that number. That's 6. That's his game-winning drives, most in the NFL
Most in
since
the NFL since
2002.
2002. Oh my God, I wish I had the gunshot, man. Yeah, like he's clutch though. Like he's just like that. And so with that said, like if we can just get that the whole time, how? Like how can you see this and just be like there's nothing. There's absolutely no chance. There's
Exactly.
absolutely like no kind of way he can be a quarterback. Like he can be like the guy in place. If our defense, because we talked about this good defense, but like randomly they just get picked apart. Like if we could just lock it in if we could just lock it in games, we lock it in, we typically are in games. We lock it in. If we give Kenny a chance to win it, we win it. So yeah, I mean the guy wins games. If you give him a chance to win the game, he's gonna win it. He literally is going to win it. It's not like he may be like he's going to. If Christian McCaffrey can score a touchdown in every single game, and it's like in your head, it's Christian McCaffrey is going to score because he's done it so many times. At this point in your head, when you see Kenny Pickett with the ball with 2 minutes or less, you gotta say, "Oh, the Steelers just won." Oh, because I swear it's like that. And not to tie it back, because, we got to, Kenny played bad. There's going to be a lot of Kenny slander out there. Not to tie it back, but it's kind of similar to, Big Ben. There was a time where it felt like every time Big Ben had the ball late, it was over. Game, like, ball, like we won. Like, I genuinely felt that as a kid watching the Steelers. Like, until the Tim Tebow game, I didn't even know it was, like, possible for us to, like, lose that way. Because it just, granted, I wasn't like locked in as I am now, but it just didn't feel it. It felt like every time there was a moment to have, we had it. Every time there's a moment to have, Kenny has it. So you gotta factor that in. If Eli gets factored in, you gotta factor in Kenny Pickett. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But we will see how the Steelers address the situation. Hopefully, who do we got next week, Brenden? The next game?
Green Bay.
Green Bay. We will see how Green Bay does this week, but hopefully they're continuing to be, kind of mid. Hopefully they can continue that. I do want to make something out of nothing here because it did pop up as I was kind of looking through stuff. George Pickens is pissed off. This is after Deontay Johnson scoring a touchdown for the first time in a couple seasons. So as you can see, George Pickens, he looks a little bit upset for whatever reason. Now, this is absolutely nothing, and I am doing this just for trolls, just for ha-ha-has at the end of the video. But, maybe a topic to address, because Big Ben also talked about it too. I don't have the clip up, but Big Ben was saying how you got to kind of reel him in. I feel like there has been a lot of talks about George Pickens. There was a penalty as well that happened maybe, I think it was the Rams game. Not when it wasn't the block. It was like some kind of other penalty that George Pickens got. And it was like some kind of unnecessary roughness or whatever. So Brenden, does George Pickens need to calm down? Does George Pickens need to be more of a Steeler and less like a TikToker?
Less like not the
Yeah, we can't do this again.
I mean, maybe like just a tad. It's nothing to like that needs like addressed like immediately. Maybe like just like a Mike Tomlin like mention. Like I don't know. Like this thing. This is definitely nothing. And honestly, to me, I don't even know if he even looks that pissed off there. It's just like kind of
He's just
sitting
kind of
there.
chilling.
Yeah.
Was he on the field for the play?
I think.
Because like
I'm
he could
not
already
sure.
been like this picture. Oh, you know what? Original picture is Blitzburg. So maybe they have more context to it. But yeah, this picture could be just completely out of context as well. Like he could have literally like looked at him and like smiled and all that like right after this. So
Yeah. Or that was, I think, the same part of the field that he didn't drag his toe in. Maybe he's like, dang, could have
yeah,
done that.
I do have that video as well. Like that toe tap kind of thing. So as we can see, like there is hella room to get that other
Yeah.
foot down. I mean, he gets the first foot down. There is like hella time to get this foot down. George Pickens, I have him in fantasy as well. Definitely would have loved the foot to just at any point in time, tall
Oh
strides, and
man.
like you can see he like is attempting to get his foot down. Like he just tweaked. Like he just didn't realize where he was on the field. But like you can see like right there, and then he's like, "Oh shit, I'm in the end zone. Let me kind of try to I don't know," because it's not like a full like stomp or whatever. Like he changes something.
Yeah.
He didn't just completely forget, because if he took like a whole step, he would have been farther out of bounds. So he tried to get the foot down, I think, and he just didn't really realize like how close the sideline actually was and how close he was to the sideline.
Every time it replays in my mind, I'm just like trying to change it. Like, please,
Yeah,
just like
please get
just
that
move
foot
over
down.
just a little
You know
bit.
what?
Like,
Too, I wanted to show this because the bottom of the KLS football. We got ML football and KLS football. We're definitely the sources are out tonight. Big Thursday night primetime game. He's a gifted receiver, but his attitude / effort has been a question at times. Like attitude / effort, and this is the play. To me, once again, it just seems like we're kind of reaching the slander when
yeah.
they like we're kind of reaching. We're taking this like screenshot, like kind of reaching. But maybe maybe we'll keep the situation monitored. But a lot of the
Hopefully it
times,
doesn't
huh?
influence that. Like hopefully that doesn't in that like he sees this and like starts to like get get mad and
Imagine he sees
people
this,
move him
Brenden.
out. This
Like
George
this
Pickens,
video.
you are a goat.
You literally are. You're like the best receiver in the league already. And in fact, they should throw you the ball more. Everything you be saying, like I agree with. I
He had
agree.
a good block today. A
Good block
very good
today.
block that got Jalen Warren a first down, I think on third down.
Banger.
Very nice.
Not a good block though. We're nasty, bro. That's so nasty.
No, it was a great
Uh,
but it was a great block.
but
He's
like,
a wide you like to see that dual threatness so he can block, he can catch
here
big
we are
plays too.
starting a narrative. Like I'm showing these tweets off. Like maybe people didn't even see this, and now they're gonna think, "Oh, see, look at George. Like I told you," and like it's our fault, bro. And then you come in with good block, good block. And
That
to be honest, I know he didn't get his foot down, but like good catch.
was a
Yeah,
good
good
catch.
catch over the shoulder. Like George Pickens, you're a god. Deontay Johnson, you are also goated. Welcome back to the end zone. Very slept on. Had a huge, huge, huge game from Deontay. Hopefully we can continue these games. The offense can continue looking good, and we can continue on the winning path because we are 5-3. For whatever reason, like I don't know how to feel about this team because we're very prone to just do nothing on offense again. And so this 5-3 does hit a little bit weird, but there's a lot of teams who aren't 5-3. A lot of fans who are watching their team just stink, and we stink. But somehow, some way, we keep getting W's, man. We're like that. And if things just go according to plan, we are getting dangerously close to things just all 100%ing. We are getting dangerously close to like the final prescribed team we were gonna get in the preseason. Because it was like in the preseason, it was going to be like this run heavy team that is going to utilize play action off of those runs. And the defense is the highest paid defense in the league, and we don't need Cameron Sutton. Now, as far as the defense goes, I said we needed Cameron Sutton still, but we didn't think we did, and our secondary isn't the best. But on offense, and Cam's been hurt too. But on offense, there was the Deontay injury, but the running game just hasn't looked as prescribed up until about 2 weeks ago. So that is continuing to get better off the bye week as it did last year. We will see how that ultimately pans out, but I think that is going to do it for this episode. Brenden, do you have any final words, final takes that you would like to get off?
I just, like Isaiah just said, we're 5-3, and we still have a lot to put together on offense. Like there's still things to clean up, still things to button up. I believe we can do it. And we won 5 games without being buttoned up.
But if you are a Steelers fan and you enjoy Steelers content, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Or if you are an NFL fan in general, leave a comment for Brenden. Should Brenden be in a video again? Is he banned? Let us know. Lots of pressure, Brenden. It's like you're a player. It's like it was your first start tonight too. You're like, hey,
Yeah,
hell yeah. So yeah, peace out and see you in the next one.